1300 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister has appreciated the spirit of those MNAs who attended the joint sitting of the Parliament despite serious illness. The Information Minister says the government will welcome the suggestions of opposition parties on reforms. Pakistan has called on the international community to hold India accountable for the egregious human rights violations in the illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. At the United Nations, Pakistan has called for lifting of unjustified freeze on Afghanistan's assets to avert humanitarian disaster in that country. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan has appreciated the spirit of MNAs Mohammad Khyal Zaman, Ehsanullah Tiwana and Rahat Amanullah Bhatti, who attended the joint sitting of the Parliament yesterday despite being seriously ill, and Interior Minister Sheikh Rashid Ahmed, who attended the session despite the death of his brother. On behalf of his party and the nation, the Prime Minister, in a tweet today, also thanked them. The joint sitting of the Parliament had passed a series of bills, including the one granting right of vote to the overseas Pakistanis and paving the way for use of electronic voting machines in the general elections. The Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Chaudhry Fawad Hussain, says the government will welcome the suggestions of the opposition parties on reforms. In his tweets today, he assured to address the reservations of the opposition parties regarding the electronic voting machines, but suggested that to first understand its system. The Information Minister urged the opposition parties to come to the Speaker office instead of moving the court on the matter. He emphatically stated that the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf government will not back out of its election promise of granting right of franchise to the overseas Pakistanis. Chaudhry Fawad Hussain said the next 2 years will decide the politics of the next 2 decades of Pakistan's history. Pakistan has strongly condemned the wanton extrajudicial killing of another 5 Kashmiris by the Indian occupation forces in Kulgam area of the illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The Indian occupation forces have martyred at least 30 Kashmiris in fake encounters since the beginning of last month. In a statement today, the Foreign Office spokesperson Asim Iftikhar Ahmed called on the international community to take immediate notice of the Indian state terrorism in the illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir and hold India accountable for the egregious human rights violations of innocent Kashmiri people. He urged the international community to play its role for a just and peaceful resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute in accordance with the United Nations Security Council resolutions and wishes of the Kashmiri people for durable peace and stability in the region. The Chief of the Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa has emphasized that continued practice of operational drills is imperative for effective response to wide-ranging threats. Addressing the troops during a corps-level exercise in Khariya, he said realistic training in peacetime is vital to meet any eventuality. The Army Chief appreciated the operational readiness and professionalism of the participating troops. General Qamar Javed Bajwa expressed his complete satisfaction on the performance of the newly inducted Chinese VT-4 tanks equipped with sophisticated technology and latest weapons system, coupled with enhanced mobility. The exercise was aimed at enhancing the operational preparedness of formations and encompassing defense and offensive tasks for various contingencies. At the United Nations, Pakistan has called for lifting of unjustified freeze on Afghanistan's assets to avert humanitarian disaster in that country. Pakistan's permanent representative to the United Nations, Munir Akram, told the United Nations Security Council that 28 million Afghans are facing acute food insecurity. He said Afghanistan needs cash to survive, rather revive the economy, pay salaries, restore small businesses and revive the banking system. The Pakistani envoy warned that the consequences of a major humanitarian crisis and economic collapse in Afghanistan would be horrendous. Earlier, the United Nations Special Representative and head of the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan, Deborah Lyons, briefed the Council on the developments in Afghanistan since the Taliban takeover. He said, despite an improvement in the security situation, Afghans feel abandoned by the international community. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.